All right, fantastic. So I am back in the US, arrived yesterday, last night. So happy to be back. And my gosh, I mean, what am I missing here? The Dow hit 45,000, Bitcoin shatters 100,000. Then Powell speaks, drops a few bombshells here. We have crypto stocks soaring, American Eagle crashing. I mean, there's so much going on. We got to talk about this. And with that said, welcome to Coffee with Markus again, and Mark. Thanks for holding down the fort. And today is Thursday, December 5th. And this show, we're going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. Mark, hey, thanks so much for holding down the fort. And wow, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, Marcus, what a week to be gone. New records left and right. And like you said, I mean, Bitcoin just going crazy and getting through that 100K mark, that milestone that uh, just a month ago seemed like it was a little bit in the making. But wow.
Yeah, look at this. So let's start with Bitcoin because that's really dominating the news this morning after struggling with the 100,000 level here over the last few weeks and then even pulling back close to 90,000 today, just plowing through after some news that we received from President-elect Trump, where he plans to nominate Paul Atkins at the SEC chair.
Yeah, and so this is the same theme that we've seen over the last month or so since the election. The idea was that uh, former President Trump and President-elect Trump would be more favorable or friendly with his policies towards Bitcoin, and this continues. So here, Paul Atkins was nominated as SEC chair, and Bitcoin traders and investors applauding the decision and sending Bitcoin higher.
Yeah. And also, really surprising, yesterday, Powell was speaking, and look at this. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said Bitcoin was just like gold, only it's virtual, it's digital. I mean, I was a little bit surprised by this comment from Powell because usually Powell was more like, okay, the good old gold is everything. And now he said, yeah, Bitcoin is just kind of like gold. I mean, that's a big comment for Powell, don't you think?
I absolutely agree, and I mean this is what some Bitcoin and crypto fans have been saying, and in the past you could argue that it wasn't, it remains to be seen, and you look at flights to safety and where crypto might have struggled, and now with it just taking off, and maybe the scarcity element, the way that it's built and was programmed, uh, it's starting to take shape. So I absolutely agree. I think that's a huge comment from Powell.
It is. So anyhow, overall, I mean, stock markets are making new all-time highs. Not today, but yesterday. I mean, look at this. Really kind of tiny moves here, but I mean, crashing through or plowing through 6,000, staying above. And then, I mean, we talked about it this morning with our mastermind members. The Dow, are you kidding me? I mean, just a month ago, this was in the beginning of November. We talked about the Dow is smashing through 44,000, and just like this, yesterday, closing above 45,000 for the first time ever.
Another day, another milestone.
Another day, another milestone. Wow. So, yeah, I mean, today it's a little bit quieter. I mean, today markets were just diddling along, now moving a little bit lower. And to be honest, there's no real news in the markets right now. Looking at the economic calendar, we did have this morning the unemployment claims that coming in a little bit higher than expected.
Yeah, so 224,000 Americans filing for first time unemployment, and this was higher than the 215 that was expected, also higher than the previous week's reading of 215. All in all, though, this is a minor report when we look at this week and the other jobs data that we've already had reported, but also that is coming tomorrow. So I mentioned it all week long. Tomorrow's the biggie. It's the monthly jobs report, where average hourly earnings, non-farm employment numbers, and also the unemployment rate is being released. And that's what investors are really keeping an eye on, much more significant than just the weekly claims.
Yeah, and this is where tomorrow a lot of things can change because yesterday, speaking at Deal Book, I mean, Powell says he's not worried about the Fed losing its independence and that he says, you know what, the economy is doing just fine. Let's see if I find the exact quote, but this were basically he didn't give any hints whether they are still lowering interest rates at the next meeting or if they say, yeah, you know what, let's hold off because everything seems to be just plugging along nicely.
Yeah, he basically said that the economy is strong, so they could move carefully with rate cuts. He said the labor market is better and growth is stronger than they originally thought. And this is accompanied by inflation coming out a little bit higher, right? So, and they recognize that inflation is a little bit higher with growth being stronger and the labor market being better. So they could proceed carefully with rate cuts. Now, the probability is still pointing to a cut in December, but it just supports what we see not only at the December meeting, but also the probabilities moving forward.
Right. So, I mean, here we have the probabilities. Let's just zoom in here for a moment. No, I moved back there, but you get the idea. 71% probability that we will see lower interest rates in 2 weeks during the next meeting. 28, almost 30% probability that interest rates stay the same. And yeah, Paul didn't leave any clues, so it's all about the jobs market tomorrow.
Yeah, all about jobs.
We'll see. Hey, and one thing that I noticed this morning, did you see this? I mean, look at this. The largest companies by market cap, Apple takes back the crown. After Nvidia was taking the crown from Apple, Apple has it back and is the most valuable company in the US right now. By the way, talking about market cap, I mean, Bitcoin trading at 100,000 has now a 2 trillion market cap. That's kind of right here. So this is where if you would consider Bitcoin as a company, Bitcoin would be right here between Alphabet and Meta, sitting here with a $2 trillion market cap.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. All right. Well, what else is going on? I mean, this morning I've still been catching up and wanted to see what's happening. So I've been looking at interest rates, and yeah, today interest rates are a little bit higher, but in the 10-year yield we have pulled away from the 4.5% yield, now trading at 4.2 again. And yeah, then we also have crude oil. Where's crude oil? Crude oil trading below 70.
Yeah, just kind of coiling up here. It looks like we're in these narrow ranges, but also with the lower highs that we're seeing and the higher lows, it definitely looks like crude's setting up to make a move in one direction or the other.
Yeah. All right. Well, we also have the stocks today. I mean, not that we are invested in these stocks, but today, look at the strategy. I mean, this morning rallying, pulling back, and right now negative. That is interesting. Same with Robinhood this morning. Look at this. Same gap opening
Yeah,
higher. Let's take a look at Coinbase.
coin the same.
Wow, they're all reversing. I mean, it's because we see it on a 5-minute chart. Bitcoin is sliding a little bit, holding above 100,000, but pulling back from the 103,000 that we saw earlier today. But that is a massive reversal here for these cryptocurrency stocks.
It is. I mean, I think coin was up 4% on the 100K break and a decent reversal.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Let's see what's happening here with our positions. And first of all, let's hop over here to the WTF analyzer. And Nothing really. I mean, what fear is there to win? Also looking here at the VIX, the volatility index. I mean, up a little bit this morning, but I mean, beginning of last month, beginning of November, we were trading solidly above 20. So the fear has definitely left the building. November was a great month for the WTF, the win the fear strategy. So far in December, not a whole lot going on just yet. But you had a trade that you did last Friday, right?
Yeah, on that short trading day after Thanksgiving, I decided to pick up some shares of AVGO, and there was a nice move and a quick 2 day trade exit. It was on Tuesday, but just a nice one to pick up while things were slow.
Yeah. All right, wheel trade. So first up, CSIQ, and gosh, CSIQ reporting earnings today, and investors are not liking what they hear. Although this morning, if you look at this move here, let's actually move over for a moment to trading view and a 5 minute chart. I mean, at first it looked like traders and investors were shaking it off. I mean, after the initial slide, we bounced back, tried to attack the 12 level again, then had a little bit of more of a slide. And this is after they reported earnings earlier this morning. And yeah, kind of an earnings miss.
And, you know, the earnings miss to me was expected, right? I mean, I think that's why you had some selling going into earnings. It was this volatility, trying to figure out where we go. There were a few big pops and then just some indecision. And going into the report, there was some downside there. There we go. We see yesterday's move. So to me, it's no surprise that there was a weaker than expected earnings report. I was hoping that it would be a little more promising on the outlook, some nuggets there that might create some optimism, and it just seemed a whole like it was a bunch of neutral or blah.
Yeah,
So
the outlook.
nothing to
I
get
think the
super
exact
excited
words
about.
were the outlook remains complex.
Complex, yeah. So no nuggets to really get excited about, but I think that this move that we see post earnings and into this support range that we had before, if anything, that's the next best thing after just a euphoric pop higher. What we didn't want was this big negative reaction just blowing through support, and so nice to see that
Right.
that didn't happen on
Right. And I mean, a little bit of selling right now, but that's almost with the overall market because the overall market is moving lower right now. So again, we'll see. We said it this morning with our mastermind members. Today and tomorrow will set the tone for CSIQ. How will investors react to this? Will we be able to close above 12 again so that we have this support level at around 12 and then we can bounce off, take off where we have been trading recently between 16 and 18? Or is this where we might be stuck in a range for a few more days? But again, right now, the good news, as you said, we haven't taken out this lower support level at 11. And right now, let's see where we are tomorrow afternoon after the close. If we can close above 12, that would be positive for CSIQ.
Yep.
All right. HAL Halliburton yesterday moving lower. Today down 0.3%. I mean, Halliburton has been doing really well. It has been trading above my break even here for quite a while. Right now, trading around $1 lower again. But I mean, overall, this is still a solid trend channel that we see here.
Yeah, and although we had the decent drop yesterday, it's nice to see that we're just kind of pausing here at this level.
Right. And then KSS, super, super interesting here. So KSS, as we know, missed on earnings, had this massive earnings reaction. I decided to fly a rescue mission, and I only got partially assigned with approximately half of my position. So this is where I was planning to lower my break even to my cost basis to 1880 because I was only partially assigned. I was able to lower it to 1985. My break even, that's the cost basis. My break even at 1827. And I'm still interested in completing this rescue mission and lowering my cost basis to 1880, because this is where we traded right before we had this earnings report. And I do believe that over the next probably 4 to 6 weeks, we might be right back there. And again, since my break even here is around $1.50 below my cost basis, it means that if I can lower my cost basis to 1880, that my break even should be at 1730, which is right around here. Not too bad. So this gives me an
Yeah.
opportunity to possibly sell calls between my break even and my cost basis. So this is why right now I'm interested in completing this rescue mission and see if I can get pick up some more shares at $15.
I like it.
Well, especially since also next week we have dividends coming up.
50-cent dividend. That's huge for a $15 stock.
Yeah. We need to check with Sergey. We should actually already displaying it, or is it towards the end of next week? I think we always display it like 5 days in advance.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday next week,
Yeah,
but we need to check that.
we'll double check this. Okay, anyhow, so that's going on there. Merck today having a good day, up 1.5%, holding solid above 100 and really sliding into a nice uptrend here right now. So, I mean, I don't see much support. We do have a little bit of resistance here at 104. So, if we can break through this, then hopefully for Merck, it's up, up, and away.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. And then we have UPS. Our little buddy UPS decided to go back into the lower range, and this where we did have some nice support at around 130, and we saw that this support has been tested a few times. Recently, has been breaking through today, down half a percentage point, trading at 128. And again, it's a matter of quickly going back above 130 here. And come on, UPS, you can do this.
I have faith. I
I
have
faith.
faith.
Honestly, if we get a little bit lower, I might be interested in flying a rescue mission around 123, 124.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way because we do have these really nice ranges. I know that we had the earnings drop a couple of times, but after each drop, we've been confined to these beautiful ranges. It'd just be nice to have our cost basis a little bit lower to really benefit from that.
Yeah, and also today is payment date for the dividend of $1.63. So this will appear in our account
Woohoo.
tomorrow. So that also helps lowering our break even a little bit more. So as you can see, my break even here at 133 will be lowered by $1.63. So it should be at what, 130, 160 something, somewhere around there. I mean,
And another positive, Jim Cramer said that he prefers FedEx over UPS. So UPS should do well.
yeah. We know about Jim Cramer's picks. All right. I forgot about PP because that's a stock that you're in. So BP today also a little bit down, 0.7%. Well, we'll see. Wasn't there an important OPEC meeting today or yesterday? OPEC Plus meeting?
Yeah, OPEC. I'm pretty sure OPEC said that they were going to. Um, oh my gosh.
Well, we'll look it up and fill you in
Yeah.
tomorrow. Because
Sorry,
I
you
also
caught me
saw
off
the
guard.
headlines that there was a meeting. I think they are cutting production, so that should help
Yes.
crude oil, and therefore it should help our positions here in HAL and also in BP. And again, today down 0.3%, 0.5%, but we expect a bounce back here tomorrow or in the next few days after this OPEC news hits the
Yep.
wires a little bit more. All right. Well, before we go back to the market, I mean, have you talked about our holiday calendar, Mark?
I have, but bring it up because today's a fun one.
Yeah, today's a fun one. So we do have our 25 days of Christmas, and every day we do have a surprise here. If you want to participate, go to rockwelltrading.com/holiday, and you see on day one we had joined this special group, and then on day two, a Santa hat or holiday outfit on your pet, and many have participated. There's over 600 people in this group right now participating in this. We gave away the Financial Fortress audiobook. Yesterday, we were sharing our favorite Christmas movies, and today we have $5 Rockwell trading mugs. As you can see, there's a surprise behind every door. Right now, you cannot open door 6, 7, 8, or 9 because today is only the 5th. But if you missed it and you want to go back, you can actually get the Financial Fortress audiobook for free. So in order to join, just go to rockwelltrading.com/holiday. It's a fun tradition. I think is this the third year that we are doing it, or is it the fourth year? Can't remember.
I think that we missed a year, and so this is the third year out of the last 4.
Right. So third out of the last 4. All right. Fantastic. Now, before we go back to the market, I mentioned this morning that I wanted to show you a few pictures from Switzerland because it was pretty
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Uh, look at this. I mean, this is one of my favorite pictures, of course. A good German beer in Zermatt. And this actually was the view from our Airbnb. So in the background, the
That.
Matterhorn. So this was from the balcony of the Airbnb. So that was pretty cool. And then we went to Zurich and did the Lindt Chocolate Factory, which the largest
Ooh.
chocolate fountain in the background there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So really like this. Lots of snow pictures, as you can imagine. Oh, this was actually pretty cool. So we went up to what is it called again? I think it's a glacier or something. Anyhow, so where you see the X, this is actually where you have Switzerland on one side and Italy on the other side. So right there where
Okay.
I'm standing in a glacier between Switzerland and Italy. So that was pretty cool. That was actually fun. And
Nice.
all right, just one more again. It was just amazing. I mean, one of these days we need to go there together. It's so cool. But what I want to show you. Oh yeah, you know we like our food. Schweinshaxen.
Okay.
So,
Look
there you
at
go.
that.
That is some serious food there. Yeah. So really
Look
enjoying
at
this.
that. I have to
Okay.
say that the Matterhorn looks a little bit nicer than the one I've been to in Disneyland.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, let me see. I zoomed in right now, and now I cannot zoom out. It seems. Oh, there we go. Okay. Going back to the markets and see what is happening here. Anyhow, it was a great trip overall, and seems that
Fun.
I've missed too much. Hopefully, let me just see. Want to show you one more thing. Because I shared this on social media. Have you seen this video just yet? I saw this graffiti in Zurich. Money is not important, but a lot of money is very important. I thought this was hilarious, so I shared it on social media. If you want, you'll find it on Instagram or Facebook. All right. Going back
Nice.
here right now, it seems that we are recovering from session lows here in the S&P and in the Nasdaq. Same here. Dow is still trading at session lows. IWM recovering, and let's see what Bitcoin is doing right now. So, I mean, it seems that today the markets are moving with Bitcoin. So, is Bitcoin really moving the markets today?
Well, I mean, it was interesting because the Nasdaq in particular in the past seems to move with Bitcoin, where it's kind of like a risk on, risk off type trade, and early on it didn't seem like that was the case today, but now it does seem like it's kind of kicking in again. So
Yeah.
maybe risk off.
Risk off. We'll see. Okay. So, as you can see, never a dull moment in the markets. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk about this. So, even if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button because this way you get notified by YouTube when we go live. If you enjoyed today's show, give us a like. Really appreciate it. And then, I don't know, with that said, oh, yeah, feel free to share it with somebody who might find this information helpful. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Until then, have a great rest of your day.
Happy trading, everybody.